Welcome back. Now we will talk about social participation, which is the second factor of quality of life and comprises the domains interpersonal relationships, social inclusion, and rights. Now, social networks, family, and kinship are known to be important components underpinning the quality of life for both older people in general and people with intellectual disability. For people with intellectual disability, building and maintaining social relationships is more of a challenge. Many persons with intellectual disability have lived their lives in isolation, either in large institutions hidden away in the countryside or within the protection of their parents, making it harder for them to build or maintain relationships. Some also have to move to other facilities, losing contact with family, friends, and well known support workers. Most of the social activities of these people are with well known staff or support workers or friends that live in the same house. So, aging adults with intellectual disability, with more severe intellectual disabilities, and or behavioral support needs have very poor to non-existing social networks outside their own immediate family and paid support staff. As a matter of fact, staff are often identified as the primary social companion and the biggest source of confidence for all the people with intellectual disabilities. So, to optimize support in this domain, we can ask ourselves the following questions. Do I know who is important to my client? Do I know whose family ties may have been broken or weakened by moving into our care? How can I support my client in maintaining contact or reconnecting with those who are important to him or her? In the design of client's individual support plan, do I engage and involve the persons that are important to him? When looking for a new home for my clients, do I consider the proximity of family and friends? Do I see myself as a friend of the aging adult with intellectual disability, or am I just a support worker? How do my clients perceive me? What about reciprocity? Do I know what my client wants to do for people he, she, or she loves? Since 1950s, there exists a broad consensus that all people should enjoy the same civil and human rights as represented in the International Human Rights Law and the United Nations Conventions on the Rights of People with Disabilities. Now, countries that ratified the UN Convention endorse the full inclusion and participation of their citizens, irrespective of their age and type or onset of their disability. But despite national and international policies that enforce full citizenship and inclusion of people with intellectual disability, the aging adults with intellectual disability continue to be more socially excluded, especially the group of people with severe or profound levels of intellectual disability and those living in institutional settings. So, here are some statements that should be the leading principle of our aim to install social inclusion. I agree that aging adults with intellectual disability can participate and take on active roles within the community. I know that social inclusion of this group of people is extrinsically linked to the support that I will give to this person. I enable social inclusion of these clients by actively looking for opportunities within the community. And I facilitate the access to social, leisure, and recreational activities in the community for aging adults with intellectual disability. In line with the previous discussed domains, the rights for aging adults with intellectual disability are the same as the rights for the general population. But some of these rights are easily overlooked. As mentioned earlier, the right to information is sometimes violated because people assume that aging adults with intellectual disabilities have difficulties understanding. We also already know that participating in meaningful activities within the community is not a prerogative for everyone. Having a place to call your own might depend on the financial means of the person and sometimes on the capacity of the service providers. Also, the right to determine where to live and when to retire is linked to the support that is provided. So, what can we do to help our clients exercise their right? Do I take the time to explain all aspects of life that are important to my client? Have I looked for meaningful activities within the community? Did I develop supports network around my client that help exercise his rights? And do I listen to the desires and wishes of my clients? These concludes the issues on social participation of aging adults with intellectual disability. Thank you for listening.